I'd like to call out Ken Russell and Sven Goethel and talk about the Nvidia APX 2500, which is this fairly amazing. Well, tell us about the Nvidia chipset and its history and why it's interesting.
Well, what we've got here is the #1 show device from the 3GSM conference a few weeks ago. This is the latest hardware supporting OpenGL ES 2.0 shaders in hardware. So, and it's got
in a cell phone.
In a cell phone form factor.
This is not a desktop. This is a cell phone.
That's right.
With an Nvidia 3D accelerator.
That's right. So, obviously, we wanted to put Java on the device and see what we could do with it.
Right.
So, together. Oh, very good, very good. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Good, the audio's up. Let's see what we can do with Java on the cell phone.
Of course, the stage lights are a little tough. So,
can we maybe turn down a little?
So it's sort of running autonomous. It's got a 3D model of a city.
Right. Completely randomly generated.
Randomly generated.
So we are using vertex buffer objects here on the ES11 layer, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So it's generating the sound. So the sound is actually 3D sound.
Right. This is a pure Java mini spatialization engine, so you can hear the wind blowing back and forth between the speakers. That's pure Java doing that mixing. We send the samples directly down to the sound card for output. We're maxing out the CPU a little bit, which is why you hear dropouts. So we'll correct that after the conference, I'm afraid. But basically, we started from scratch. We took the CVM virtual machine. You know, big credit to the Java ME team for getting a good, robust virtual machine for us. We got the core libraries up and running. That took 24 hours. So very good work on their part. Then we took the Java OpenGL desktop binding, whittled it down to a 1/10 its size, got it on the device. So this is raw Java OpenGL.
Right, but you took the OpenGL bindings, did the magic tweaks for OpenGL ES.
That's right, yes.
Right.
Yes. And then got that running on the device. So what we have here is this interesting kind of hybrid where you actually can develop your OpenGL Java app on the desktop and take the binary and run it directly on the phone.
Right. So while this particular example program doesn't have textures and such on the models, the GLES library, the GLES spec, and all that does all the textures and shaders. They're a little bit different than regular GL.
Yes. So the ES2O fragment shader syntax differs a little bit. So and that is actually what you have to provide if you want to move over to the embedded platform. So you have your own set of embedded shaders, and you have your set of shaders for the desktop platform. But beside that, your program shall be the same, use the same API.
Right. So as soon as Nvidia can get more of this chipset into a few cell phones, people will be able to do some pretty interesting things. I mean, I've seen in Japan people who use more primitive chipsets than this that are ES 1.0, I think, that do some really amazing games that basically turn cell phones into PSPs, and they got great, all kinds of great games and different ways that people use 3D. It would be really nice to have like Whirlwind. Right. Running on the cell phone.
Absolutely. That's our next goal.
Just imagine if you have a GPS device and you can see your positioning of your friends and pictures, etc., sharing the same database. Yeah.
Right. And so like one of the Duke's Choice winners this year was a company called What's Up?
Up Next.
Up Next. Right. And the Up Next guys have this thing that tells you sort of like where like music is happening in Manhattan. But their interface to that on the desktop is 3D.
That's right.
So now you can do all of this sort of, fly through Greenwich Village to find the hot parties.
That's right.
And just be cool.